Welcome back everyone to the 2020 Player Survey here in our brand new Studio 7 here at GMTV. 2020 has been an interesting year to say the least, but this year's poll smashed our previous record at over 200 responses. Just before we get started on the results, I do want to mention a few people. Obviously, Steve, Twisted, Dakota, and Red, they all helped out with this survey this year, and I really do want to thank them for their help. In addition, I'd also like to thank the ACF 3 and G10 moderation teams. They've been very helpful with this as well. And of course, countless other people I haven't named, and of course, everyone watching. For those that are new here, basically every year, we try to reach out to as many people as possible and ask them what do they think about ACF as a whole. We then take those results and share it with the dev teams and, of course, the community to see what people truly want out of their add-ons. This year, of course, we included DakTank because the ACF and the DakTank communities are very close to each other, so it would almost be a sin not to include it. Of course, there is one thing we do have to go over, which is a bit of a disclaimer. This is only a small sample of the hundreds of people in the wider community, and as such the results might be biased one way or another, because of course, no survey is perfect. So, on to the results. To lead us off, we actually found something pretty interesting. We knew that ACF and DakTank had a large audience, but we didn't know exactly how global it was. Over a third of all respondents were primarily non-English speakers, with the most common alternative being Russian, followed by, of course, Spanish and Polish. This is to, of course, not discount the 19 other languages that were included, such as Korean, French, Serbian, Dutch, and so on. Moving on from those, of course, we found that the most common add-on that people are using, at least from our sample size, is ACF 3, at about 50% of our respondents. ACF 2 is right behind at about 30%, ACE at 15%, DakTank at 4.5%, and something listed as Other is at about 1.5%. In terms of how people build, it was pretty much a three-way split, with the whatever I felt like category just edging out over the historical realistic style by 2. The minor categories, in decreasing order of course, were practical, competitive, fictional, and the other category. When we asked people about how they found ACF or DakTank, the majority said they encountered it on an already existing server. Others said they found it by themselves, and the rest found it on a platform like YouTube or Steam, from their friends, an organized group, or some other way accordingly. And of course, finally, we asked about group participation and G10 participation. Similar to the results we got last year, about 43% of respondents were part of an organized group, with about 41% of that slice participating in the group of 10+. Of course, with all that background out of the way, let's get to the meat and potatoes, so to speak. With our ACF2 users, we asked them, why are they still using ACF2? Most of them said that it was just the primary add-on that's on the server they're on. A surprising number of people said that they didn't like ACF3 or ACE, and the rest didn't know that different ACF distributions existed, or thought the workshop one was the real one, or for some other reason. Next, for ACF3, the response was pretty positive, with about 90 of 144 responses, or about 63%, being positive or very positive. Some, however, are less enthusiastic. About 27% give a neutral answer, and 10% responded negatively or very negatively. As to why people voted that way, most people were happy with the fact that, at the very least, ACF3 was an improvement on ACF2. However, over 1/4% of the 87 answers we received were not happy with the current state of the add-on, most notably from the car building community. It was also a mixed playing field in terms of what the devs should work on. The most prominent answers were asking for changes to mobility, weapons, munitions, and of course,
pile drivers!
Pile drivers, yeah, please stop through the door, it's like...
Moving on to AC then, we can see about a third of respondents are happy with the add-on, another third are neutral, and the final third is not happy. It should be noted though that the rivalry between ACF3 and ACE definitely had a larger impact on ACE results as shown by the reasons behind the ratings. Yeah, it's a bit of an ugly result. But those who responded positively liked the features that were added to ACE and enjoyed participating in the ACE community. Though let it be known that many also expressed concerns regarding the add-on's current development state, especially when looking into the improvements question, with bug fixing, optimization, and an ACF3 rebase taking a notable majority in the overall assessment. Moving on to DakTank then, it's a split between the majority positive and the minority neutral. The reasons people voted for, however, were far more interesting, with the majority saying they at least liked the direction it was going, but with a very sizable minority very much disliking Dakota. These were by far the most flavorful responses, however, including, and I quote, "Dakota is gay," "Get out furry," "Bruh, who uses DakTank?" "Honestly thought that DakTank was just an in-joke," and "Dakota needs to buy his fursuit and kerosene and figure out the rest." Anyways, we're gonna look now at the future with how long people think Garry's mod will last, and of course, what they think about Gmod's spiritual successor. In our survey, a super majority of people believe that Gmod still has at least a little bit of life left, with only a very small section taking the pessimistic stand. The same can also be seen with sandbox scores, with at least 75% of the respondents being positive or at least indifferent. It seems at the very least that the legacy of Gmod will be, if not in its final chapter, at least carried into Sandbox for many more to enjoy. And well, that should about wrap things up. The raw data will be made available to the appropriate add-on creators and their moderation teams. We hope that at the very least this provides valuable info in order to help improve the add-ons that everyone enjoys. And of course, with that, we'll see you next year.